It's day 9 of our Advent calendar series. I am doing a full-length story every day this month, so let's see what is in store for day 9. I had to call the police on my sister during family dinner. I have never had to do that, but my sister did chase me with a hammer one time. I probably deserved it. This story was first posted October 7th, 2023. So the situation happened in December of last year, just before I left for a college program in Orlando. I, 20 female, have never gotten along with my younger sister, 18 female, who has various mental health issues and a personal vendetta against me that I will never fully understand. She hurt me a lot when we were kids, and not in a sister hair-pulling kind of way. We are talking about burning me with irons on purpose, trying to hold me under the pool water when my parents weren't around. She's a larger girl compared to me, and later on I'll explain why this is. She would cut my hair, hurt me with scissors, ripping heads off my dolls, and even would tell lies about me at school. Essentially, she's tried to kill you. When I was a sophomore, the issues between us got only worse and worse. I started trying to stand up for myself more, and while my mother would separate us when things seemed to go too far, because I will admit, I'm no angel, I had my share of unkind words and jabs. However, when we stayed at my dad's house, it was a much different story. He would go into his room and sleep if she got so angry that he couldn't handle it. So he would walk away, which would lead to my worst nightmare. While eating dinner, I tried to pause the TV to use the restroom, and my sister got mad. I told her not to unpause it until I came back, but she didn't wait for me, and I got upset and I called her a B word. Again, I had my fair share of insults, but never one time had I been violent with her. I've only ever put my hands up or ran away. That day, however, she decided violence would be the only answer to my calling her as she took the steak knife from her dinner plate and held it to my neck. Yeah, so this is a much more serious issue than like siblings fighting. Yeah, this is more serious. And you mentioned she has mental health issues. I think we need some professional help here, and I'm actually saying that genuinely. It was like time froze for me. I don't even remember to this day when she put it down or how I ended up on the floor, just the smell of the food, the way it felt, and that she said she wanted to me. I do remember running to tell my dad, but he was out cold. So instead, I just went to bed and put a chair behind my door because I was scared. I actually called 911, but ended up saying that it was an accidental dial because I was scared of what they would do to my sister. The next day, my grandmother picked us up and took me to school. My mom homeschooled my sister after finding out that she was bullying some girls at her other school and stealing money from my grandmother's fundraiser. At school, I had a full-on panic attack in the bathroom mirror. I don't know what caused it. I may sound dramatic, but I really only remember bits and pieces of what happened that day to lead me into the counselor's office where I spilled everything. I waited in her office for what felt like a million years when my mom came in along with a police officer and my grandma, my dad's mom. 2 days of sleeping at my grandma's later, we get a call that my sister is in a jail cell for the night. She had attacked my mother, who recently had stomach surgery, and she tried to hit her where her wound was. Call in the professionals. This is out of anybody's like, how does anybody...
Yeah. Yes.
What
Yes.
is... All right.
What do you do is what I'm asking. Parents out there, how are we handling this? Therapy, professional help. What are we doing here? I'm not a parent, so I'm genuinely asking, calling all parents. How do you handle something like this? Because I'm sure it happens more often than we might think. My mom ended up going to the hospital because of the bruising, and my sister was trying to claim she only managed to call 911 because my grandpa lived one house away and heard all of the commotion. Fast forward after various behavioral facilities. Oh, so they have tried in and out of public schools and multiple different medication and therapy trials. She and I started to get better during the pandemic, though there was an entire city distance from each other. So they did try all those things. Therapy, behavioral facilities, medication. I feel like you just gotta keep trying until you find something that helps, no? She still made comments about me and would fly off the handle, but she hadn't been violent in a long time. Now that you know our history, let's go back to December. Oh, I thought that was the December story. Okay. The first incident was when Dad dropped a Christmas present and the paper scratched a bit. She waited until he went back to grab more from the house and, with me in the back seat, took his phone, keys, and wallet before trying to speed off in the car. She nearly wrecked us into the neighbor's fence before my dad jumped in front of the car and started banging on the window. Mind you, her therapist had informed my dad to tell any family members of ours to record this kind of behavior. So that's what I did. I sent it to my mom to talk to my dad about later. At Christmas with my mom, I won $200 in lottery tickets. Oh, that's so fun. And she won only $8, which led her to wishing me dead and leaving without any of the gifts I had worked to buy her. And finally, the straw that broke the camel's back for me was when she lunged at me from across the room while opening presents with my elderly grandma, and so I slammed the Christmas gift in my right hand into her face. She had seen the video I took of her on my mom's phone while trying to send herself pictures of the day. Because of this, in the eyes of some, I may deserve it, but I was done. She ran off crying and I chased her into the other room, telling her that she should consider me a stranger. As far as she was concerned, I wasn't family to her anymore, and she was to me. I'm going home today. I have her blocked on every piece of media and contact possible. I even deleted every picture of us. I am done with her. And these past 12 months away from her with no contact have made me realize just how much better my life is without the anxiety that she brings to it. But now that I'm coming home, my grandmother wants me to apologize, even though my sister told her she hates to breathe the same air as me, let alone see my face. Should I apologize, and am I the a-hole? Edit. I have a lot of people asking me what I hit her with. It was a makeup mini fridge. Ooh! Oh, that would hurt. I have seen those on TikTok. That would hurt. That is hard, a little bit heavy. That would hurt. Also, I forgot to explain what I meant by that she is larger than me. She had a growth spurt at the age of 11. She has struggled with weight loss her entire life after the fact. Let's check out some of the top comments. Someone said, not the a-hole. You have nothing to apologize for, so you shouldn't apologize. The people who owe apologies here are every member of your family who didn't protect you from your sister. They owe you apologies and reparations. I would advise you against living with your mother, considering your sister's violent vindictiveness and your family members' inability to protect you. If I were you, I would move away, get a restraining order against your sister, and not tell any of your family members where you live. Your sister wants to take that seriously. OP responded and said, my mother has banned me from her home. That was our agreement when I agreed to move back in with her and my stepfather. I also informed my dad a few minutes ago, actually. Me and my grandmother, his mom, who wants us to let things go, are only to meet in public places when I have my own vehicle so I can leave if she ever shows up. Next comment, what the F took you so long to disown her? OP responded and said, if I'm honest, mostly pressure by family members. The only people who have never pressured me to get along with her in the past are my mother, my stepfather, my aunts and uncles on my mother's side, my uncle, and my little brother. Oh my gosh, you have a little brother? Oh, so she just doesn't hate him? Like, do they get along? Next comment, she was displaced from her home when the favorite daughter came home. How would you feel if the situation was reversed? Not to mention, you are taping her and sending it to people. I wonder now what was said or done that caused her to pull the stake weapon on you, or did that even happen? Both of you are violent and have severe issues. I hope you are getting help also. Oh, so they are not on your side. They are considering you the a-hole. OP responded to this and said, I have tried to see her view multiple times, but I can't really understand it. Like I said in my post, I'm no angel, and you're right to say that maybe I could have been a better person or example at times, but I'm always the one who has to say sorry. I'm the one who has to let her do what she wants and cancel plans to fit her. I'm the one who had to cut off family because they defended her actions, and now I'm likely to have to go low contact with more after coming home. I'm no angel, but I don't see how anyone deserves this feeling. I'm not looking for a pity party either. I just want advice and honestly to rant. I can't tell people about these things in my daily life. I'm from a small town where people talk and everyone knows everyone. Trust is hard for me here. I need to know what you guys are thinking, especially the parents, because you might have some experience with this. You know, a troubled son or daughter, siblings aren't getting along, it's violent, divorced parents. Ugh, there's a lot in here. I cannot offer any life experience from the parental standpoint. That was a really weird way of just saying, like, I'm not a parent. I can't give like actual life experience. Like, what a weird way of just saying, I'm not a parent. Less is more sometimes, Joss. Just say it how it is. We have an update, and it came 4 days later, October 11th. This week, as I moved in, I spoke to my mother, who agreed it would be best to go less contact with my grandmother and her siblings, who agree with her. My dad doesn't like it, but says he understands and won't say a word about my whereabouts to my grandmother until after the fact. However, we have an entirely new storm about to brew. My dad's brother's wife, my aunt, wants to do a big family picture, as we haven't had one since 2017, when things with my sister reached its peak. Everyone involved in this picture keeps bugging me about it, sending me outfit ideas, texting me times and locations, asking me to plan poses for them. I honestly don't know how to say I can't be in the family picture if my sister is there, and knowing them, if I ask them to choose between us, I know it will end with them trying to make me compromise and be as far away as possible, or make it quick and easy. We wouldn't even have to talk. If you were me, what would you say? Because I don't really know if I'm ready to be in the same room as her yet, if ever. Well, then don't go. Photoshop me in. I will pay for you to Photoshop me in at that point. I feel like we're all gonna be fine if I'm not in the family picture, you know? We're all gonna be just fine in life if I am not in this family photo. I think you gotta do whatever's best for you, or Photoshop is a wonderful thing. The next update came 2 weeks later, October 24th. Let's see if she did this family picture after all. Since moving back home, I have remained completely no contact with my younger sister and low contact with my grandmother. It has been great. I have 3 job interviews scheduled. I made a small amount of money taking up babysitting jobs for relatives and friends. I will say my dad has been much more supportive through the no contact process than I thought he would be. He's only mentioned reconnecting once, and after I explained my reasoning for wanting to remain no contact, he immediately dropped it. This last week, I did some home improvements at his place while my sister was at work, and our paths only crossed once, but we were in our vehicles as I was leaving, so I never actually saw her face to face. For those concerned about her pets, they seem to be taken care of well enough, though part of the home improvements I worked on involved the floor swelling from where she didn't clean up the dog's urine in a corner of her bedroom. Dad now charges her rent after that. Instead of paying me, my dad decided to give me a car. It's his old one from work that he's fully paid off, and since he's getting a new truck, he won't need it anymore. The only thing is, his old work car more or less became a driving trash dump. While I was cleaning it out at my mom's place, I found a letter addressed to me under some of the trash. It seemed old enough with stains on it from whatever rolled on top of it. My name's on it, I may as well open it, I thought to myself before realizing it was from my sister 3 years ago for my high school graduation. I never even knew she got me anything, and honestly, after seeing it, I don't know how to feel. I'm not sure why, but it made me second guess if I'd been too harsh on her in the past. Then I remembered everything she did and practically threw it in a drawer and walked away. That was 2 days ago. I just feel weird having it now, and while I have no intention of contacting her still, I wonder if there was ever a time she really cared for me. It may sound stupid or silly to some, but she's never actually written anything so nice to me or given me anything outside of Christmas. Not even for my birthday. Is it normal to question these things or think this way? Also, I'm starting therapy in 2 weeks. Being in a small town, options are limited, especially with insurance, but I'm hopeful to get in sooner. I think therapy is going to be a wonderful thing for you. Did you read the letter? I need to know. Did you read the letter and you're saying it was a nice letter she wrote, or did you just throw it in the drawer and walk away? Because I want to know what the letter said, okay? I'm nosy. Some of the top comments. Someone asked, oh thank God, someone asked, what did the letter say? Did she start acting out on you as she became a preteen, or has she always been like this towards you? Also, there are some mental illnesses that start to manifest when people reach puberty. OP responded and said, it started off when we were younger with things like cutting, burning, hair pulling, lying to people, etc. It has gotten worse as we've gotten older. The letter just said it was from her and I worked hard to graduate despite my struggles with ADHD. I still wonder to this day if it's not partly a hormonal issue. The more advice I get and the more people I reach out to about my situation, the more I realize that there is this huge emotional and mental issue, yes, but I wonder if there's a more chemical aspect to it. A little TMI, she got her period before me and her body started to undergo its female changes at around 10 to 12 years old. I think 11, but I can't be 100%. Around the same time, her actions towards me seem to get worse and worse. I'm getting tired of looking for answers I may never have, so I'm trying not to look into her mental, physical health much further. I think trying to find a cause over all these years has almost driven me insane. Yeah, I think therapy will help you dive into that though, and into your own childhood as well. We got some updates, but first we need to hydrate. It's hydration station. I don't make the rules. Drink your water. Cheers. You can also drink something else though, and tell me what you're drinking. The next update came 2 weeks later, November 9th. I didn't get the teller job, but they kept my resume for future positions. I did, however, get a job working for my mother's boss as a secretary. I also got a boyfriend. Okay. Some happy news coming our way. He's a little bit in the countryside and we've had a few political debates, but I've never had a guy make me feel this way. He has become a major supporter of me and is actually a prison guard and state trooper hopeful. I guess opposites really do attract sometimes, because while he's out hunting deer, I'm watching RuPaul's Drag Race reruns. I also dropped out of college. I couldn't handle it atop of all of my other personal issues. Now, on to the bigger updates. My family has been hit hard by my mother's recent cancer diagnosis. No. At first we were told since it was her thyroid, which according to the doctor is the best type of cancer you can have, it should be a simple removal. Turns out it's much more serious than that, but I'm only going to speak lightly on it as we are waiting to learn more before we tell anyone outside of direct family, and I want to properly update on the situation. Now for the latest thing my family has tried to pull. I made a deal with my family. If my sister was there, I won't be unless they make sure she stays a number of feet away. After that, we go back to our regularly scheduled no contact. Everyone seemed fine with it. I said I would get in a picture with her and dad, who despite our issues, I know would take her down if she tried anything. Am I going to put myself at some risk? Yes, but unlike the rest of my family, I am driving myself and I can leave at any time. Plus, I'm a former model with the photographer they selected, and he has been aware of our situation for some time as a close friend, which gives me some comfort that he'll move us as far as possible for the photos. Why did I agree? Because my low contact grandmother is in bad health. I think that's why she had pushed for us to make up so badly, which is no excuse in my eyes, but it gives me some clarity. It may be our last chance at a big family photo. I don't want to deny my cousins of this. They have always loved and supported me. I feel security in knowing how many people are on my side and will be vigilant when it comes to her behavior. My aunt texted in the group chat a paper detailing what shots she really wants. One is me and my sister together on a bridge alone. I sent a message to my dad basically saying absolutely effing not, and I have not heard back since. Now that blanket of security it feels like it's slowly tearing away after reading that and his lack of response. Oh boy. It has to be on a bridge alone? We can't be like under a tree with everyone else around? I don't understand that.
Good news, everybody. I am not even gonna fix that hair sticking out. I don't care today. I have no cares to give today. Good news, this story form is gonna be left open for the rest of the year. You guys were all like, the end of November, you hardly gave us enough notice. It's open for the rest of the year till January 1st because I already got a lot of submissions. So this will just give me a lot more, and then we can go into the new year with a bunch of your stories on the channel. So if you want to submit a story, make sure you get it in. It is linked in the video description of every single video. Okay. or don't.
The next update came 1 month later, December 23rd. It's almost Christmas. Has our life gotten more holly and jolly? Probably not. So my sister has started once again with her hatred towards me at the family holiday. My probably not was correct. I made the recent decision that I would be civil so that we can have Christmas all together for the sake of mom. I hesitated, but knowing how many events my mother has gone without all of her children and all of the stress she's gone through lately, I just agreed. I'm already starting to regret my decision. I don't feel scared I'll be physically harmed because if she tries anything, I now have a 6'1" prison guard, self-declared gym nut, my boyfriend, to keep her away. She messaged mom on Facebook a few weeks prior that if he came to our family gift exchange with us, then she would not show. That if I was at the gingerbread night, she was going to leave. She never even came to gingerbread night yesterday, and after my mom posted Facebook images of the event, my sister went crazy online, posting how she's the stranger and black sheep of our family, and cursing out my mother in the comments section, and even not coming to our extended family Christmas breakfast today because of it. I'm stressed, and I'm not even in this family. I'm not a parent in this, and I can just feel the stress of this family. We have reached the final update, January 1st, 2024. New year, fresh start, happy beginnings. We'll see. Happy 2024! It's officially been a few days over a year since I've spoken to my sister. I've learned a lot in this time and the holidays went smoothly enough. I basically avoided her like the plague and we were only in the same room for a short period of time, surrounded by people I know wouldn't stand for her behavior. In a shocking turn of events, I got offered a modeling job earlier this week. Okay. It's a runway modeling job and I'll definitely have to start hitting the gym for it, but my boyfriend thinks it could help me with the stressors in my life and my therapist even thinks it's a wonderful idea. I bring this development up as an example of my progress mentally. My sister found out about this opportunity. More specifically, she found out it was in New York City, and of course she complained to my dad about how it's not fair that I get to do these things. I'm the world's favorite and I don't deserve this, etc. In the past, I've always let her comments bother a small part of me. I was being so hard on myself, hard on my accomplishments, and letting the words of someone else impact my life. But until I decided to let that person go and I reached my own boiling point, I didn't take as much pride in these things. I made excuses for how they came to me instead of how I built myself to these things. And that part is fault of my own. For the first time probably ever, I actually laughed when my sister tried to bring me down, and I feel like my confidence is growing. My therapist says this is a sign I'm actually healing and not letting her take over. I'm happy to say I finally feel like I am making progress a year later. You know, I'm curious about your guys' take on going no contact with family or anyone in life, friends, exes, I guess. I feel like that's easy. But family is a big one. Going no contact with a toxic family member who adds maybe more pain or more stress to your life. Some people are, it's family. You have to be in their life. Some people are for the no contact. I would like to know your thoughts and feelings on this story, on this entire thing. I'll see you in the comment section. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. Bye.